Tenants trashing an investment property. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at this article which is discussing, well, an example of a rental tenant trashing a home, leaving 8,000 beer cans around. It's just, well, at least that's some, aluminium you could recycle. You could take it to the scrappies. Probably cost neutral, but I like looking at these stories because Australia is so obsessed with property. It's just all we care about. Okay, let's not even kid ourselves. We got reality TV shows about people doing up houses and property. So it's the big thing in Australia. And when I see stuff like this and I hear all the horror stories of just more rights being given to tenants than the landlords, and I don't know why people are just rushing to buy these properties and rent them out. But I guess this is just part of the burden that you have to bear as a landlord dealing with stuff like this. Let's have a look. A tenant from hell filled a house with 8,000 beer cans and full of waste after telling the landlord he'd left a bit of a mess. Oh boy. Cleaner Freddie Gillen-Webb was given the task of clearing up the stomach-churning mess by his landlord pal once the problem tenant finally left after a year of paying no rent and trashing the flat. Freddie was forced to spend almost 30 hours across 3 days clearing out the property and was sick multiple times in the process as he waded through the appalling mess. The living room of the two-bedroom flat in Hampshire in southeast England, of course it's England, was full of empty beers, with spiders beginning to swipe the cans. What? And lift them up in their webs. Oh, are you kidding? What? Really? Is that... Damn. The bedroom toilet seemed as though it had never been flushed, and instead toilet paper and excrement had piled up 4 feet in the air. This reminds me, there's a show, a British show, If You Can't Pay, We'll Take It Away. That's an interesting one too. I'd encourage you to watch that. That's the type of stuff you can really binge on YouTube. So, it took 10 bottles of bleach to fully clean the flat, and cleaners even had to use a digger to crush the mess in order to get it to fit inside a giant skip. The tenant had been taken off with a text message to the landlord saying he might have left it in a bit of a mess, leaving the landlord £12,000 out of pocket. Freddie said, as soon as I walked through the door, there were beer cans everywhere and the smell was terrible. He clearly didn't use the bin at all because the kitchen was full of food waste, and in the living room there were half-eaten kebabs and moldy loaves of bread all over the floor. What? How? This is obviously a hoarder or someone with mental health problems that we're seeing here. Upstairs there were bin bags full of cigarette ends, and you couldn't see the floor because there were that many beer cans. I think I removed around 8,000 in total. The toilet was piled high with toilet paper and feces. It was disgusting. He'd never flushed it by the looks of it. What is going on? The cleanup just never ended. After the first day, it didn't even look like I'd made a difference. That's just nuts. Sick job. Despite Freddie's strong stomach from working with sewerage during his job, the rotten waste and overall stench of the flat was enough to make him vomit 3 times during the cleanup. Freddie said it had to have been like that for a while because it was really bad. He was just living in and topping up the mess. That's just insane. The landlord had a skip at one of its building sites, so most of the rubbish went there, and he used the digger to squash it down to fit it in. I think I went through about 100 big bags and 10 bottles of bleach. Because I work in wastewater, I don't have to throw up very easily, but cleaning that mess up, I managed to gag 20 times and was sick 3 times. That's just... Buy investment properties, guys. Real estate always goes up. Or maybe that's just the UK, although it could be in Australia. Look at that. All that beer. What do you reckon? So, a problem with the toilet's flush was identified and quickly dealt with during the cleanup, which may explain the mountain of used toilet paper and feces that was left. But the tenant failed to even report this, not wanting his living habitat to be revealed. Or living habits to be, it wouldn't be a habitat, it's living habits. Much to the landlord's relief, after moving towards the eviction process, the tenant decided to leave of his own accord, allowing him to retake control of the property. After taking off to avoid eviction, the tenant alluded to the vile state of the flat, soon to be discovered in a text message to his former landlord that said, "I may have left it in a bit of a mess." Freddie said, "You'd think renting through an estate agent would be fail-safe because they have guarantors, so I can't see how it's been allowed to happen." Well, see, here you go, guys. This is why real estate agents inspect properties. I know for people renting, it's a pain in the ass, but this is exactly why, to avoid this. It just shouldn't be able to happen, and tenants like that should be blacklisted from renting again, because otherwise it could happen again and again and again to more landlords. Or then eventually they'll end up in cancel housing. You know what it'll be, guys. It'll be on the welfare check. That's what it'll be, guaranteed. The tenant may have had depression, and he probably had a drinking problem based on the amount of cans. You need help sometimes, but you can't live like that. There's no excuse for it getting that bad. So there you go, everyone. Are you all encouraged to invest in property? What's the solution to this? Obviously, we're looking at someone here with serious mental health problems and issues living at that point. His solution is real estate agents need to inspect. And if it gets to that state, people need help. But, that's the risk you take if you're a landlord. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan of the channel and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.